Alright, so NBA 2K20 has been out for about a week and a half now, and I've been messing around with a few different builds to see which one is the best for me. Now, after tweaking with a few different things, I think I've found not only just the best build for me, but one of the best big man builds you can use on the park in NBA 2K20. Now, I know that sounds kind of bold to say that this is one of the best builds in the game, but if you just look on the screen, there's not a lot that this build can't do. This build can snag over pretty much any type of build, even without any rebounding badges, especially if you have good positioning. This build has great defense, and I'm not just talking about steals and blocks. I'm also talking about the amount of shots that I'm contesting and altering because of my presence down low in the post. This build can finish around the rim if I need to, especially with that 84 close shot and 85 standing dunk rating. But most importantly, this build can space the floor and shoot. Now, mind you, I don't even have my shooting badges anywhere close to being maxed, and if you give me a little bit of space, I'm still able to be lights out shooting the ball. Out of all the builds I've tested, I've not only had the most success using this build, but I've also just had the most fun using this build because besides dribbling, I can pretty much do everything on the court at a high level. I'd also say that this is a great build for people who don't have anyone to play with. So if you play 2K with a lot of randoms, this is a great build because you can grab rebounds, you can finish at the rim, you can space the floor and shoot the ball and not have to be reliant or dependent on anyone else. So with all of that being said, in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys exactly how I made this build and why I think it's one of the best big man builds for playing on the park. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is of course put him at the center position. Once you're finished with that, you get to choose your pie chart, and I want to reiterate that this is a park build. And what I mean by that is if you're playing the rec center or pro-am or something like that, this might not be the absolute best big man build for that mode because it's more players on the court, the spacing is a little bit different, things like that. Now when it comes to the park, you absolutely need a big man who can defend the paint, who can grab rebounds, and who can space the floor and hit an open mid-range or open three from the corner if you need them to. So with all of that in mind, you definitely want to choose the pie chart where defensive rebounding and shooting are the two main priorities. Now as far as physical attributes, I wanted to make sure that I had the highest amount of strength without being too slow. So I ended up choosing a pie chart where the speed was at a 61 and the strength was at a 90. Now as far as the actual attributes, I ended up maxing out my close shot, my driving layup, and my standing dunk. Now I've seen people distribute their points a little bit differently in this category, but I did mine this way because I was able to get 3 finishing badges by doing so. Now everything in the shooting category is pretty much maxed out except for the post fade. My post fade is at a 78 instead of an 80 because it doesn't really make a difference as far as badge upgrades go, and I wanted to use those 2 points towards my defense and rebounding category. Now I ended up maxing out my defense and rebounding category with the rest of my points, and I was able to get 23 badge upgrades in that category. Now body shape obviously doesn't matter, but I ended up going with built on this particular player. Now the height is always something that trips me up when it comes to making big man builds because you don't want to be too slow for making your player too tall, but you also don't want to make him undersized because you made him too small. If I were to make him 7'3", as you can see, I'm losing so many points in every single category. Like there's no reason to make a player 7'3" in this game. Since this build is strictly for park, I was debating on whether I wanted to make him 6'11" or 7 foot, and I really like the boost in attributes I got by going just 1 inch shorter. So I ended up going with 6'11" instead of 7 foot, but either option should be just fine. Now as far as the weight, I ended up going max weight because I seen that I was gaining some points in interior defense and strength, and I was only losing a tiny amount of points in lateral quickness and acceleration. So I ended up maxing out my weight so I can get that 95 strength and that 90 interior defense. Now as far as wingspan, I ended up going a few ticks above the default wingspan so I can still defend really well without losing too much shooting. Now when it comes to choosing your takeover, like I said, this build does a great job at snagging boards without any rebounding badges. Now since this is strictly for park and I wanted to prioritize defense, I ended up choosing rim protector as my takeover, but of course you can choose whatever you want for your player. Now I'm just showing you guys clips of what this player can do offensively and defensively on the park. If you guys played 2K19, this is basically a sharpshooting rim protector from last year. I can defend the paint, grab rebounds, finish at the rim, and once again, most importantly, I can space the floor and shoot the ball consistently with this build. Whether it's from mid-range or the corner or wherever, I'm pretty much forcing you to guard me everywhere. I think it also helps that I know the timing of my jump shot really well, so I'm able to consistently make defenders pay for leaving me wide open. With all that being said though, if you guys end up using this build, let me know how it works for you in the comments section down below. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure sure you don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also turn on post notifications to know exactly when the next video is uploaded. Alright, I'm out.